Rwanda officials hit out at criticism against sending people to Rwanda, saying it is not a punishment, as Prince Charles and Camilla land in capital Kigali. Prince Charles along with the Duchess of Cornwall have arrived in Rwanda ahead of a meeting of the 55 Commonwealth countries in which the Prince of Wales will represent the Queen. This is the first trip a royal take to Rwanda, one of the few nations the Queen has not visited. According to a Times report, Prince Charles allegedly said the Rwanda policy, which has so far failed to send asylum seekers to Rwanda, is appalling. The first flight due to take off last week was cancelled after the European Court of Human Rights ruled against it, overriding UK courts' rulings that green-lighted the deportations. When asked about the atmosphere in Rwanda, BBC's deputy Africa editor Ansoy from the capital Kigali said, "I was here last week when the story about asylum seekers was in the news a lot. And there was barely any debate here. It is not controversial here." However, the Rwandese authorities did express concern with some of the criticism that had been directed at them. And they were basically saying that sending people to Rwanda is not a punishment. It's not a punishment to live here. However, they seem to have moved on from that. They say they're still waiting whenever the asylum seekers will be sent this way. They're keen to proceed with that partnership. So, this week, they are keen to showcase the country and its potential by hosting more than 50 heads of state from the Commonwealth. That is a big window for the government. Of course, there has been criticism as well directed at them because of their record on human rights and democracy. But the government has defended itself saying, "It is work in progress," BBC's Soy said. So today, we are expecting Prince Charles to visit the Kigali Genocide Memorial. There was a genocide here in 1994 in which more than 800,000 people were killed. So, he will be visiting that memorial and speaking to some of the survivors. In 1994, hundreds of thousands of members of the Tutsi minority ethnic group were killed by ethnic Hutu extremists. Estimates say the number of Tutsi deaths varies from 500,000 to 662,000. The catalyst for the genocide was the crash of Rwanda's president's plane on April 6, 1994, which left a power vacuum and was followed the next day by killings. The Hutu government put the blame on Tutsi rebels for the president's assassination. Prince Charles will spend his first day in Rwanda visiting a church outside the capital where the remains of tens of thousands of genocide victims were buried. He will then meet survivors and perpetrators of the country's 1994 genocide in a reconciliation village before attending the Commonwealth Leaders Summit. Rwanda footballer Eric Mrongwa encouraged Prince Charles to visit the church after Charles made him an MBE, the third highest ranking Order of the British Empire award, for his efforts to raise awareness of the genocide against the Tutsi. Mr. Mrongwa, a Tutsi member himself and goalkeeper for the national team, survived the genocide thanks to his fellow team players who protected him from the killing. He now runs an organization that promotes football to promote tolerance, unity, and reconciliation among Rwanda youth. The last time Charles represented the Queen was in Sri Lanka in 2013. In 2018, he was designated as the monarch's designated successor as head of the Commonwealth. Ahead of the meeting, Prince Charles said the Commonwealth can be an unparalleled force for good in our world. Upon landing, Charles and Camille were received by a group of dignitaries, including the UK's High Commissioner to Rwanda, Omar Dare, Rwanda's High Commissioner to the UK, Johnston Bizuze, Special Advisor Yamina Karitanyi and the Prime Minister's Special Representative on the Commonwealth, Lord Ahmad.